Yeah, yeah. Still no TV here. Now broke, and the whole thing was for nothing. And I gave away the old one. No, that didn't happen. It's still sitting here. One project begets 64 more. And it all stems from my actually reading the book on the TV. That video out thing, program out, ports on the back, according to what I read in the book, without doing any real world testing, which is probably legitimate enough, it said that it's going to output a composite signal that is input to the TV over that, and alluded to the fact that it might be able to convert an RF picture on analog to composite as well. Basically what a VCR used to be able to do. A VCR would have your RCA ins and outs for composite, and it would also have coax in and out for RF. And it could convert, if you put in on the RCA, it could output over the coax, or if you input over the coax, it could output over composite. So you would have that. That would probably, not tested, require that the TV be on. So a guy got to thinking about that, and I said, I got this wire here. Now, I know this wire is not high quality. It's pretty thin, and if we're pumping 3 cables through this, well, ground loops abound and all that great stuff. This can all stay intact as it is and will still work as a composite connection. But it got me thinking about back in the day when we lived in our old apartment, and I bought this. This is, I think, a 50-foot S-video cable. And the only thing I'm going to be able to really output over that would be from the cable box. And the cable box can output over RF, composite, S-video, component, and HDMI all simultaneously. So why not take advantage of a better picture quality, because at the bar it will accept an S-video input, which also leaves the composite here free in case I wanted to send something over that way, or I could just leave the one cable disconnected for the video and I could shoot in a composite signal right over there instead of using this if I wanted to go that way, while still just using the audio channels on here. So the idea is to run the S-video cable from here all the way over to the bar. That's a pain in the dick. But I'm going to do it while the TV's down and I have access. And the reason why I had I guess that's the word of the week. I had mentioned in the in a previous part of this series that this cable was meant for a Swan brand security camera. Well, I didn't get the full everything here yet, but here's something I can show you. See that? Big loop of cable. This is way too long, and it's just tucked up in there. That's a great thing because the other end of that cable has to shoot across into the laundry room, and the cable is right there and accessible. So what I need to do is get up here, find that end, unravel it a bit, find that end, and then have enough cable that I can tape it to it and pull it through into there, and then I will end up with an S-video cable that can then be run to its final destination. There's 2 ways of doing this. There's the hard way and the easy way. The hard way is finding some way to get around. It's very convoluted and complex because the air handler for the main floor and basement AC is right here. So getting in this corner is pretty much impossible. Can be done with some wire fish tape and a lot of patience, and I don't need to do that because this TV happens to be tall enough that it basically pushes this up a little bit. That effectively blocks everything here. So that means that this cable, as well as the S-Video, are going to go straight down and then through that hole that I drilled back there, instead of running it the right way, because I can get away with it, at least for now. If and when this TV dies, that's going to be another problem. So I'm going to get started and see if I can at least pull the cable through, and then we'll go from there. There's yet more to this story even after that, and I'll mention it now. I had said somewhere in this series, which as you see has become a major ordeal, that I'm also going to hook up plain old RF to this TV. Well, it so turns out that because my cable company is a total bastard, they now have removed the ability to watch TV over the direct cable hookup to the TV, even with a digital ATSC tuner. That means that every TV you have requires a cable box that you can only rent from them for $15 a month per box. I have a TV out in the screen room back there, and that used to get signal back when we had analog cable. That went away. I actually sprung for the box, and got that and had that for a while. And then I said, you know what? These bastards suck so bad. The screen room, you know, what am I out there? 3-4 months out of the year? And how many times do I actually watch TV? Let me cash the box back in. And I did. And it kind of sucks that the TV's sitting there and it's basically useless. So, you know, whatever. So I wanted to take the actual coax line that's going from the main cable hookup in the house and run it over here. And when I do that, that way I can have a coax signal go out to the backyard. I know it's not H-digital. I know it's not 1920 by 1080 LMNOP. I get that. I know that. I'm an old school guy, and there's a CRT out there. And that'll do just fine over a coax wire on channel 3. Thank you very much. In the event, I think, not positive, but I think the tuner on that TV out there is fakakta. But it works on the composite input. Instead of going crazy apeshit with getting an old VCR to convert that and buying an adapter from China on Amazon, I got other TVs, and I can easily swap that out because it's just a 19-inch and it's not really conducive to having anything bigger out there. Now, should somebody give me another plasma, well, that's a different story and probably would never go out there. But just an old junky CRT that nobody really cares about. Yeah, I know there's gamers and they're going after the Sonys and all that. This ain't no Sony. This is a no-name brand, and it's probably going to be replaced with like a, you know, an old Zenith or RCA or whatever the fuck I got over there. So it's not a big deal. But let me see if I can pull this S-Video cable over, and then we're well on our way to getting the remaining cables run. I want to do that, then this stuff can be shoved through there. Have to run also another HDMI cable through the hole, which is right there, and also have to run 2 Ethernet drops over here, and I have all the provisions for that as well. So there's still a lot of cabling and planning involved in this. Let me work on this one for a bit and see if I can get anywhere. If I am not mistaken, this is the cable right here. So if I can move this, yeah, no, it doesn't move. So that's good. All right, let's go see. It's supposed to just move now. Yeah. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Now I got to go back and forth and back and forth. Okay, I think we're good and goddamn close at this point. Yes, sirree. There it is. There is the S-video cable. Easy peasy. Now I undo all the tape. Can you see this at all? No? I undo all the tape, and then I can pull the composite cable back through to take up the slack, and the S-video cable gets pulled this way and runs to where it needs to. Easy peasy. Existing cable, existing composite cable, S-video cable. Now run here, not in the chase yet. I got to cut the cable ties and redo it. It would run all along here, up above the pipe, through there, down around the alarm panel, and down right here. Here is the wire and the S-video connector. Pops right through there along with Ethernet, the composite wire, and I think that's coax from when we still had analog cable. And I used to be able to watch TV. I used to have a VCR here, but I think that's going away because it doesn't really serve any purpose any longer. But I can just shove that cable through, and that will go to the VGA up converter, if I can get it in there. Good. And yeah, that's it. So we got that one done. I guess we could try to see if it works. I'm sure it won't. Okay, temporary hookup. I even turned the PC on so you can see that. Press the button. SV is S-video. It looks probably about as good as an S-video can. Composite, for some reason, is not. And that may have something to do with the VCR and how that's routed. I don't know. I have to go through and set everything up here. This still has not been set back up from what it once was. I could look on the back of the VCR and see if there's a coax line going in there, and if there was, then that might be. And then why, if and why, maybe a cable fell out of the back of the VCR. Guy doesn't know. He didn't look yet. But anyway, the composite cable is there and should work right along with the S-video cable. Going to need a splitter for the audio, as you might expect. We'll see if that works, and that way you can go over both for no reason, just to do it. And then I'll have other inputs and shit like that. All kinds of great stuff. But it's there. I wish I could put it back to the S-video signal, but it's probably, this video is probably already flagged. In fact, I'll do it again. PC. It's showing the fail blog stuff. So we can let that chooch for... Right. Oh yeah. And then we can go back to super password. But of course, I can't show you this because it's copyrighted. So that's all you get, and that's it. And composite I'll work on. I gotta go through the wires and that. But there, the cable is successfully run. And now I can send that through. That leaves then coax for the outdoor TV, as well as Ethernet for the Android TV box and the old computer box that's going there. And then everything can get hooked up. But that's like days and days and days away. Anyway, slowly but surely, we are on the road to getting there. And I even have right here some Ethernet cable. This particular one is interesting because it has electrical tape on it there, and in one other spot for some reason. I know I had loaned one of these cables to XJO81X back in the day, and that we'll shut this off so you don't have to look at the flicker. I had loaned this to XJO81X back in the, or one of these particular cables to him back in the day, and he got a little too rambunctious pulling on it, and it got frayed. It doesn't, I don't know if it's this one or if he has that one. Oh, actually no, it's not, because if you look, both ends of the cable are marked with tape, so you could tell one from the other, I guess. So that's what this is. Now, I gotta see in the light if I can. You know, I'm really sorry. I saw it the other day, and it'll never show on camera. But this cable, believe it or not, this is a 15-foot probably Cat 5e Ethernet cable that was originally from Radio Shack, sold at Tiny Middle. When Radio Shack closed, Tiny Middle was able to get some of their products on closeout for really, really cheap, and I bought a whole bunch of them. That one, like I said, has been used. This one is still wrapped up, brand new, never used. So obviously I'll use the used one because we know it worked. And that's that. So anyway, we're making progress on all of this, and eventually it's going to be hooked up, and ultimately there will be TV here again. There hasn't been, well, I mean, there really has, but the monitor died, so that's been down forever. So we'll get TV back over here that nobody watches, and TV outside in the screen room that nobody watches, and a big TV down here, and then we got TV, and there's not a fucking thing on TV. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.